Hey guys, it's the History Nerd, and we are back with another exciting episode of Crusader Kings 2 Eastern Roman Empire. Where we last left off, we became the non-Roman Empire. We are the Queen of Syria because the Holy Roman Emperor was a big jerk. That's okay though, we sawed all the supports off his balcony and made him die. What this meant though, is the title of the Byzantine Empire has now passed to a random Croatian. So we've got that to deal with, which we are, quite handedly, I might add. We've got half the provinces of the capital in, is this in Zagreb? In Zagreb, sieged, which is good. It's weird seeing the Byzantine flag and red next to it, but hopefully with the obvious victory over the current emperor, who, let's face it, isn't really an emperor, and isn't really owning that land anymore. So let's move all the way across the map to Colonia, so we can actually go in against the Emperor. Siege post of Thrake. It's, yeah, it's become a very interesting game. Unexpected events abound. The end of this century is certainly proving to be a tumultuous one. Hopefully, we're able to sort of rebound and make this region purple again. Now, a bit of a concern I do have is the vassals, because obviously right now we've got a Byzantine emperor over here without all the vassals that the Byzantine emperor would normally have. If we see there, you know, the liege is the Holy Roman Emperor, so we're gonna have our work cut out for us to reclaim our land, our rightful land. Oh, this whole time I was sitting here looking at this army thinking, what is this, you know, Kingdom of Syrian army doing just sitting around? Well, apparently those are my armies to control. So we might as well get as many people as we can together in the stack and make sure, of course, our military leaders are the bestest we can have. Unfortunate thing is, after, you know, close to a century of picking, you know, between 40 vassals, all of which were relatively well off, we're now stuck, you know, picking from a tiny little court. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and remove the Chancellor from causing an uprising. Oh no, the Chancellor is now causing an uprising here, which is good. Which, probably won't happen. It looks like he's kind of favorable, kind of likes the Emperor. What we want to do is find someone who's not exactly enamored with imperial rule and might be willing to take up arms to throw off the imperial shackles. And that's proving to be harder than one would assume. I'd like to try it with the Hansa, but I doubt that they're strong enough to even contemplate doing such a thing. So now let's take a look at some of the Greek vassals. You see, this is confusing state diplomacy, defending versus foreigners, demand conversion. Like, I mean, the Emperor isn't really proving to be all that awesome for the Greek vassals. There is my cat making his presence known to all. So it's kind of weird that these Greek vassals may not be all that keen on leaving behind this new imperial title, or their new imperial master, and moving on to, you know, the proper Byzantine emperor. Was that just a big long rant that was nonsensical? It kind of feels like it was, so I do apologize. Basically what I'm saying is it's weird that, say, Duke Furious here would rather be taking orders from Ulrich instead of Constantinople. That's all I was trying to say. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and take as much Imperial land as we possibly can. Hopefully the ruler doesn't change yet again. And I should take a look at this and see. Nobody is really... Alright, we got a grandson. So this is the actual... So this will... Well, he'll potentially will die. But he could be the future emperor. Anyway, I want to take a look at the imperial rules here. And just see why... Well, let's pause this so time doesn't tick too far away. Where am I? I just want to make sure that, you know, hey, it's me, you know, the rightful Byzantine ruler. One of the few people with the born in the purple trait. Perhaps just not enough electors are around to choose that title. Because we certainly can't change or run for the Holy Roman Emperor, and at least we'll always keep the Kingdom of Syria. There is that, which is nice. But I want my imperial title back, you know? It's just, it's not the Eastern Roman Empire if we're not the Eastern Roman Empire. If we're just this Kingdom of Syria, I don't know. I don't get this. The whole demanding conversion, and the fact that he's a foreigner, and the fact that he's a heathen, like, those things should be factoring in here. The Eastern Orthodox Empire is being run by a German Catholic. This shouldn't fly, and yet it is. I just don't understand. And it looks like, sadly, the Polish revolt is not going as well as it could be. Which sucks, but I mean, I'm not seeing any Byzantine or any Holy Roman Emperor armies running around doing their thing. I would imagine you're going for someplace in Europe. Western Europe, of course. Come on. Select my army. So, plans for the series now. Once we recapture the Imperial title, which shouldn't take too much longer, unless, you know, the capital moves up there and we've got to shuffle off up there again. Reclaiming our vassals is going to be key before we can even consider continuing our advance against the Muridids or the Seljuks or the Fatimids or anywhere really. We need to reclaim all of our Imperial land. So, really, it would appear that the emperor that we killed last episode was just a Muslim sympathizer, which makes one really, really worry about the state of the Holy Roman Empire in Europe. If the imperial throne, or the imperial armies can just be thrown at a problem to make it an even bigger problem. Oh dear. No, why are you... Are we smart enough to do this? Probably not. Demand reconversion. You're not gonna... My dear liege, I assure you that I am a righteous believer. I shall close my ears to the spoutings of the local heretics and pray for their imminent eradication. Thank you. It's bad enough we have to write everything in German now. Although I guess things would probably still be done in Latin. I stand corrected. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to have to be getting our vassals back and demand reconversion. We are going to be having quite an issue if the Holy Roman Empire continues to look at our title and think, hey, we could get that, because of their damn German knights, which is ridiculous. The strength of those guys, insanity. I don't know if our cataphracts are going to be, I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's how I am pronouncing it. Gosh darn it. I don't know if they're going to be good enough to actually do the fighting, so I'm definitely going to be rethinking the way my retinue works. There we go, we've got the Imperial capital all sieged up. What are you, Craven? Greedy. Where to go, where to go? I guess Samuel here might be okay. So we'll do that. Outraged by succession law, elective monarchy, dynasty members akin. I wonder if it would be a good idea to, you know, imprison and banish my husband. It's still just the ecclesiarch we can't populate. That's fine. That'll change, I hope, once we become emperor. Who are you? Muradids. Right, because we are at war with the Muradids. What are they going for? Syria? Yep. Alright, we've got a granddaughter, which is good. I'd really like it if the Imperial armies could actually do something about this. But of course, one can't ask too much of their emperor, apparently. After they come in and ruin, absolutely ruin, one of the most stable and strong empires in the game. Anyway, I think I've beaten that point up enough. It's just frustrating. Which is, you know, a part of why I like these games. If these games didn't make me want a table flip at least once a playthrough, it just wouldn't be right. Where would be the fun? Oh, great. Well, Dukas, at least you guys are dukes again. Congratulations. We'll have to get you under under our command again. This is throwing us back at least 50 years before we can do anything else. So, lesson learned, never marry the Holy Roman Emperor. If you're watching this series to learn how to play Crusader Kings 2, take that tip to heart. Because otherwise, things are going to get nasty. But it's okay. We'll bounce back. Somehow. And I guess it follows a little bit of history there. I believe it was the Third Crusade that saw Christian armies sacking Constantinople and leaving it weak enough that the Seljuk Turks didn't really have much of an issue moving in to, you know, Anatolia and this region, ultimately leading, of course, to the sack of Constantinople in 1454. So there you go. A little bit of history from the history nerd. Hope you appreciate it. The Byzantine Empire was a little bit of a passion project when I was going to school. It always interested me in the medieval era, this big, large empire that was basically Rome still sticking around into the 1400s. It fascinated me. And the only reason why I didn't really focus into it further was the language requirements, of course. For those who watch Silent Hunter or a couple of my videos, you'll realize that my German is horrible. Let me tell you what, my Latin and my Greek is even worse. So, there you go. Where is this gentleman anyway? You're way over there. Oh, good. You're grabbing land in Italy. Oh, and it looks like Lombardy here broke off from the empire. This is good. So, at the very least, are we really at war with Croatia? Apparently we are. They're defending the Byzantine Emperor against the true Byzantine Emperor. Geopolitics. It's all confusing, but I'm going to have to keep an eye on because, I mean, the Croatians do have a fairly large army. And I somehow doubt that Hungary or our liege will come along and help us out. I am greatly impressed by the wisdom of a local Catholic preacher. Heresy or not, I'm starting to believe, no, you're not. Listen, old lady, don't be doing it. I'm watching you. How are the kids doing? He's not sick anymore, but that diplomacy skill, I would have preferred to see that diplomacy skill just a little bit higher in that kid. He might not be emperor material. And then how is Ducas doing? Ducas is looking pretty good, actually. Ducas might be a good bet instead of Iona here. It might be better to go with Ducas. We'll get less of a vassal penalty, too, for having a male leader. Because, you know, medieval times, people are sexist. I really don't like the fact that the Empire here is just going to get eaten up. Perhaps I pulled the trigger a bit too quickly. Fucking peasants. Bostra. Bostra. Is this even my land? It technically is. Alright, so we've got a few vassals still kicking around. That's good. 3,000 peasants running around is not. We're going to need to make sure we get the imperial title before we go after those peasants. I don't want to give Matt G here any sort of chance to work out his claim. And yeah, I mean, it looks like he's gone through and blinded a bunch of the vassals. I certainly didn't do that. That's pretty rude of you. King Alexios of Syria. Are you actually landed? You are. And you've converted. Alright, well that makes that easy. Your Majesty, your wisdom and mercy are legendary. That's why I'm the Great. After much prayer and meditation, I've decided to grant your request to divorce your spouse on the grounds of consanguinity? Whatever it is. You know, reasons. So now, what we could do to find ourselves... Yeah, well... I don't know if anybody's going to want to marry a 50-year-old queen of Syria. But it might not be a bad idea to try and get an alliance out of this that would be helpful and useful. We'll see. We got a positive score against all of the wars we're in. Though I imagine the Empire lost... Oh no, somehow they were able to beat back the host that was trying to get land. Not sure how. How are the Imperial armies holding together anyway? How many men you got? 71,000! I don't know if any of my men factor into that. They probably do. But, you know. Alright, we got 100% against the Frisian Revolt. And I don't think... Yeah, those guys aren't going to be revolting. We could try for another Polish revolt, but I think that might be just a little bit useless to do, really. So let's see here if we can't find ourselves a relatively good alliance to get into. Would it make sense? It really wouldn't make sense. Oh, excuse me. It really wouldn't make sense to marry the king of Sicily's heir, since we won't get both, or we won't have any kids out of that, so we won't get anything out of it. Got another independent little county over there. I'm hoping once I'm able to reform the Byzantine Empire that most of these people will just be like, hey, you're the rightful liege. At least most of these ones that have split off, right? So Mosul and Swenik there. Of course, all the vassals I still have. damage control, but we'll pull it out. We'll make this work. Come on, let's go up to speed 4, shall we? Oh, hello, look at that. 3,000 Byzantine troops. Well, we'll finish this siege off, and then we'll show you who's boss. I have collected a tithe in Constantinople. The money should reach you together with this letter. 67 gold. I'm A-okay with that. Well done. Alright, focus. Can we get better than you? Alexandros, we can put in Kalinikos here. Best bet. Best chance we've got. Another tithe collected. My god, we're making tons of money here. Another grandson born. That's good news. Call yourself the Byzantine Empire. Come on, you're going into Annie. We'll follow you. Prince Ulia. There we go. Okay, let's see if we can marry her off to get some kind of alliance. And indeed, we can. I just want to check the map, because we can get in with the English. I mean, they're not big, but it's England. So, I mean, I guess it's a bit of a... It's not really a counterweight to the Holy Roman Empire. Who would be a good counterweight to this massive blob in the middle of the map? France? Don't let me down, French. You got a bunch of daughters. It's kind of letting me down. Who's your heir? Yeah. Oh, hello. I wonder. No, arrange betrothal between. Is that gonna work? Damn. I was getting hopeful there. Maybe a little too hopeful. I guess England would be okay. That is about the best bet we're gonna have here. Alright, let's do it. There we go. May you live in harmony and contentment. I've decided to accept your suggestion. Wonderful. Where are you going? Lori? Lori. Perfect. Enforce my demands. All right. That is our land. Let's send you back and let's take a look at how much work we've got left to do. We've got a lot of work left to do. Okay. Step 1. Like, look at this. It's all this stupid crushing a major revolt. There's got to be a way to find... No, we're gonna need some strong vassals to start with. Now, most of these people have converted. Look at that. Look at all the Catholicism just spreading like wildfire around here. This is insane. Okay. I doubt that this is going to be the case. Yeah, I didn't think so. How are our military doing? Not great. We're not going to be able to stand up to the Holy Roman Empire. But at least we're independent. So that's a step in the right direction. All of these little vassals, though, we're going to have to retake. And it looks like a lot of them just decided to become Catholic, which baffles me. I don't understand. Don't understand. Why did you convert? It's like a big-ass mass conversion. Well, we can probably get an ecclesiarch. Not yet. Right, I was just looking at that. But, I mean, we should be able to have a bit better selection here of people to run things. 13, you are an improvement. 19, that's going to be pretty hard to beat. 15, 14, but you are a vassal. So you get to do your thing. And we're going to need you to train troops. And then we're going to just kind of have to hope that power, not my de jure liege. What do you mean not your de jure liege? Where are you? Kurdish, Orthodox, de jure empires. Oh, shit. Alright, you then, little girl. How are we gonna do this? Because, I mean, we don't even have enough troops now to go after these guys. You know what I mean? Like, we're not gonna be able to fight the Holy Roman Empire, even with England's help. Castile, can you do anything to help us out? The young? I don't know about that. Who's your heir? Alright, and then... okay, well, the important thing is we're purple again. Next step is gonna have to be... fucking conversions. That throws a massive wrench into all of my plans. Like, look at all the Catholics. And, like, the people have converted, too. It's not just the leaders. This is what is blowing my mind. In the space of time it took us to just get the imperial crown back, half of the empire has become Catholic. Alright, well, we're gonna need to start finding some Orthodox people here. You, are you still Orthodox? You are, okay. A little kid. That's not gonna work. You might. Are you... You're my liege, or my vassal now, that's good. You're Catholic, but your people are Orthodox. You're my family, which means I can't trust you for anything. Yeah, perhaps killing my uncle may not have been the best bet. Okay, regardless, we need to start causing some sort of issues, and I think Helios here is going to be a good first bet. So we're going to go so discontent there. He's Orthodox, he's a duke, he's got some land. We should be okay there. And then we're just going to have to slowly, methodically start picking apart the Holy Roman Empire to regain our lands. It may set us back more than 100 years. How are the islands doing? Did they convert too? No, they didn't. Stay strong, man. Well, you converted. And I bet you did too, didn't you? No, you didn't. Maybe Crete would be a better bet, but... let's control-click that. I've avoided my courtiers for so long, one of them has started to mistrust me. Well, damn. After ducking out of Constantinios' sight, I realized that he must have seen me and felt ridiculous. Oddly, the man ignored me and seemed to have stopped taking notice of me. Oh, what a relief. Glorious. The Teutonic Order. More Germans. That's exactly what the world needs. Well... got my color back. And that's a step in the right direction. And, I mean, you know, depending on how things go, at least we'll be able to barely survive. Just can't believe how quickly the Empire converted. That is confusing me. We're encouraging you to revolt, and you like the man more. Okay. This isn't working. We need to figure out a way to get Heinrich dead. Fucking claim on the Empire. Well, can we kill him? Yes, we can. So then another arrow come along. Oh, I guess we'll need to nominate a successor, which means... Do we want to go with Ionia now? We'll see what happens to Ducas here. How long before he becomes an adult? A little over 2, or a little under 2 years. Let's see, you're tiny. Perfect. Awesome, thank you. We needed that. And you would probably still not, because we're not your de jure liege. So we're going to have to keep our eye open on any revolts that pop up against the Holy Roman Empire. Something tells me there's not going to be too many, just by the nature of the way things are going. A jihad for Jerusalem, I hope they're successful. That's where my opinion of the Catholics are now. Freaking die, all of you. Okay, so, I mean, and we've got another option too. If I give up on the plans of, you know, utter domination of the region, we could look to move the empire somewhere. Even taking on the Kingdom of Georgia would be a fairly difficult proposition. Yep, and we're not going to be able to get... We can only have one unit of this. One unit of the heavy cavalry. So maybe we'll go for that. And that gets us to our retinue cap. And if we can take Georgia, then we can sort of move the empire somewhere to build up a base. That'll give us a bit more of an ability to reconquer rightful imperial lands, which sadly I think we're going to have to do, because we're just really not strong enough to go toe-to-toe with the Holy Roman Empire right now. My liege, I've managed to sow distrust between Mayor Stephanos of Germa and his liege Duke Helios. Wonderful! So when I want to present a united front against the Holy Roman Empire, you ruin the internal workings of the dukedom that I want to have on our side. This is not good. Can we bounce back from this? I don't know. Can we make something of this? I think we can. Like I say, I think what we're going to have to do is go up against people like Crimea, Tataria, move into Georgia, take Moldau, or Moldavia, however you want to pronounce that. But just sort of work on building up a base in the North Black Sea, I think, is going to have to be what we're going to do. And then push south and reconquer not just land that we conquered, but, you know, land that we owned. So that's a little frustrating. But hey, we're purple again, guys. That's a step in the right direction. we're going to leave the video there for now. At least we can make Byzantine Empire actually a Byzantine Empire and not the Kingdom of Syria. Go ahead and overwrite that. Thumbs up if you have enjoyed the video. Leave your comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, jokes, musings, what have you below. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.